Yeah, we'll just jump right in, man. So you've been catching our eyes since the spring. Before we get into some of the specifics, just tell me a little bit about your journey, how you ended up here, why you signed with the Bears.
Sure. I feel like I've kind of been maybe a little bit overlooked just throughout my career, but I think the guys in the building where I've been, I'm two-time team captain, and I feel like I've been a leader at when I was at Oklahoma State, I was a leader at TCU, and I've just always thought just do the right thing all the time and make sure I obviously am a great teammate and just do everything I can to help the team win, and then ultimately that's what has got me this far. I felt like I was a guy that was going to get drafted. I was pretty confident about that, and for whatever reason it didn't happen, but at the end of the day I'm super happy to be here. This is an unbelievable place. We have outstanding leadership, and it's really just been just the best time ever being up here in Chicago. Like you said a second ago, just such a historic place, and sometimes when I walk in the building I'm just pinching myself going like, wow, like this is pretty awesome. I'm just living the dream, and ultimately just trying to make this team, and trying to do everything that I can, from back when we reported for OTAs until the end of training camp, just trying to do all the little things right, and then see where that gets me.
So you mentioned feeling like you've been overlooked most of your career, so the draft was kind of the same way. Are you a type of guy that gets on that practice field every day with that chip on your shoulder?
Absolutely, man. I feel like it gives me a little bit of an edge over some guys, is the chip that I carry every single day. I think I get a little bit of that from my pops, maybe. Shout out to my dad.
I was going to bring him up. He played quarterback for the Houston Oilers back in the 90s.
Yes,
he grew up in the Houston area. What was that like having that type of dad?
It was awesome, man. He's a guy that's obviously been there and done that, and so anytime he wants to talk ball and be involved in any type of way with that, I'm all ears. He's a guy that I guess people are always saying he was just the tough guy. I don't know, but I feel like I get some of that chip from him. He's always told me nothing will ever be handed to you. You know what I mean? You're going to have to go take it. You're going to have to go get it. You're going to have to work your tail off if you want to get to the top, if you want to be the best. So I've just, kind of carried that mindset with me. And, as long as I'm, it's the little things. And as long as I'm doing those little things and honing in on those details on a daily basis over and over, being consistent that way, sky's the limit, I think.
So how would you describe your game at the wide receiver position?
I think if I could describe it in one word, I would just say savvy. I feel like I'm a savvy guy. I'm pretty, I think, how do I say it? I don't like talking about myself, but I feel like I'm just solid at everything. I feel like I got some twitch to me in the when it comes to getting off the ball versus press
Declan
release.
Doyle mentioned that yesterday.
Did he?
So
Okay.
Like kind of when you're coming out stems at the top of your routes, and you have that twitchiness to your game.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that, but yeah. So I just feel like I just have this savviness about myself, just kind of that instinct that I feel like you can't teach, you can't coach. Is this this natural feel for the game that I bring, and of course I take a lot of pride in catching the ball, and I feel like it's a pretty rare deal where I put the ball on the ground, so I like to pride myself on that, and I feel like that's got me a long way as well. So,
what's it been like? You show up here in Chicago, and there's a lot of excitement about Ben Johnson coming over. I'm sure you've watched the Lions the last few years, but what's it been like being in this system, learning this system? What stands out to you about it so far?
Well, I could tell why the Lions were so successful offensively, the past couple of years. Coach Johnson is, you could tell all he thinks about is football all day long. He eats, sleeps, and breathes it, and he brings that type of vibe, that type of energy into the building. Whenever he gets up and is doing his offensive installs, and he's just over communicating everybody's responsibility, and it's really cool to see him do his thing.
Yeah, so you've been working on mostly with the 2s and 3s so far. I'll ask you about Tyson Bagent first. Just what's it been like working with you? Because it seems like you guys have developed some chemistry already based on what I've seen in practice.
Maybe. It's still really early. We've still got a really long way to go. But, no, our quarterback room, man, they're outstanding. They're great on the field. They're great people, man. They're just willing to, help in any way that they can. They're just so hands-on and over-communicative on what they expect us to do on, each given route. And, if I ever have a question about anything, any play, that's something that happened in practice, I don't hesitate to go talk to those guys because, they love football. All of them are just, like I said, great human beings. I'm super lucky to have those guys out here. So.
Yeah, well, it's been fun watching you so far. Carve, am I missing anything?
Appreciate it.
Well, but the Bears outlined the diving catch that you made with the one hand.
Oh, you should have brought that up.
Take us through that play real quick.
Sure. So I had kind of a little option route type of deal, and then so I broke out and didn't get the ball. Tyson started scrambling, so we're taught scramble drill, got to get vertical if nobody's over there. So went vertical, and Tyson, he makes my job easy. He puts it on the money, and it's up to me to just go make a play for him, and that's kind of what happened. Just saw the ball, and whenever that ball's in there, I just kind of zone out a little bit, if you would, just go into my mode, and I'm just trying to catch it. And so that's luckily, or maybe not luckily, but I'm glad that I had the opportunity to make that play.
I imagine that video started circulating among your friends and family, and get some text messages after that. Gets featured out there.
A little bit. My mom loves football, and so she's following everything. Since I was in college, she's on all the boards and all that. And back in college,
you got a full Texas football family.
Oh man, my grandpa was a head football coach in high school, and he played in the league for a little bit, and. Like I said, my dad and my uncle played running back at Tech, and football's a very big deal from a very young age in my family, and so they definitely have kind of paved the way for me in that way.
The real Friday Night Lights right here.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
We love football.
Nice meeting you. Nice talking to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you. Yes, sir.